Sure. Yeah. So where do you see this book going?
I want it to go everywhere.
Mhm.
I think personally, I would love to see it adapted into an animated short, potentially a TV series. I think it has all the potential for that. But I also know that I have to build a stronger foundation for it as a book first before someone can, take the amount of money to put towards a budget to adapt it. But I want to see it at the Schomburg Library. Schomburg was Afro-Boricua. He's one of the people who coined the term, 80, 90 years ago. And, the main character is Afro-Boricua. So I would love to see it at the Schomburg. I spoke with the New York Public Library just last week and about incorporating the book into their programming and having me do virtual engagements for some of their outreach for literacy. And it's not just the New York Public Library. I would love to do that nationwide. I'd love to do that globally, and I think this book can really affect people positively, just as my films and just as my radio show in the 90s with Stretch and just as my basketball tournament, Full Court 21. I love being inclusive, not exclusive. I don't want the book to be like the super rare, only 2,000 people know. Nah, I want the book to be like
everywhere,
like,
everywhere.
But that's the struggle when you're with the independent publisher, So I've been creative with the marketing and the outreach. Like it's available at basketball organizations, record shops, sneaker boutiques. If you go to aimhighllittlegiant.com and click on buy local, you're going to see a lot of shops. It's like 3 actual bookshops. The rest of them are like just not where you would think to find a kid's book. And it's been selling out. There's a coffee shop in Portland called Concourse Coffee. And it's a basketball coffee shop. It's a basketball themed coffee shop. They took the book. They sold out of it in 1 week.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, word, cool. Like, let's keep that going. So they reordered it. And, the Kennedy Center is picking it up for their gift shop as well as considering it for some programming. And so, I'm just, it's to me, it's paso a paso, poco a poco. I mean, step by step, little by little. I'm just, trying to get it out there and, and just for whoever receives it. I mean, you can look at aimhighllittlegiant.com customer reviews. There's like 34 customer reviews. 33 of them are 5-star. One is 4-star, still with a positive review. I mean, like, I got something special with this book, And if it takes like just baby steps to get it out there, then so be it. It warrants attention, though. And ain't one person that's ready yet that's come back to me, but like, yo, nah, it's whack. Like, nah, the book is incredible. I'm not saying that because I wrote it. Like, it's If
I can testify. I can testify. The book is tight.
I wish I had a book like this when I was a kid.
Yeah. So, it's funny because, I put my book out last year and, I self-published as well. And, and people often ask me about the experience, what is it like being a self-published author trying to get your book out? I'm like, it's just like being compare it to music, like an independent artist, where you out there on the grind, because you don't have that big machine pushing you. So, you have to do it yourself. So you got a whole lot of guerrilla marketing, thinking outside the box. How can I get the book in different hands? So for you to say that, to see that you're going through the same process.
Dude, like I'm a known dude. Like, people consider me a legend in sneakers and hip hop and a major contributor to basketball culture worldwide. And like, I'm still struggling. I've called 50, 60 bookshops. I say about like 5, 6 have even had the courtesy to respond to my DM, or my email or my phone calls. Like, and I'm a known dude. Like, I can't imagine, what it's like to be an author who's self-publishing, who's like, on the come up. It's like that's even a harder struggle. So props for what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
I could identify, like, I got 72,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I got the blue dot, and I'm hitting up bookshops with the blue dot, and they see the spot. I'm like, dang, yo, like, for real? Like, my book will sell at your shop. Right. It's not like I'm throwing you a dud. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not like I'm throwing you like gold. You know?
Yeah.
And but it's part of like, it's what we were talking about earlier, unschooling. You know? It's easy for a bookshop to just order from the distributor, and then if they don't sell the book, they can send it back, returns, and and just have one invoice for 15 titles. I get it.
Yeah.
But guess what? I used to have a bookshop myself in the 90s.
Yeah.
I had a hip hop boutique called Footwork. And I would glow when the author would come in with books and be like, yo, I didn't be like, nah, I can't sell your book. It's not through a distributor. Like, nah, I'd be like, yo, here's cash. Because I know I got the exclusive on the book. And for me, it's, the whole purpose of having a mom and pop. If you're going to call yourself an indie bookshop, be about it. Support indie publishers. Support independently published authors,
Right.
Don't be a mom and pop and only sell, Simon & Schuster and Penguin. Like, to me, that's whack. That's super whack. For that, why don't you just throw it in the garbage and just become a franchise of Barnes & Noble or something, like, but whatever, I'm digressing, I like to be a positive dude, so, but I feel you, man, I feel you.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people need to hear that, because oftentimes, people struggle with their promotion. They think, wow, they isolated it by themselves, but to hear that you go through the struggle as well, I think, a lot of folks need to hear that.
Nah, no doubt.